Okay, guys, we're going to have a look at the second ordinary level question, which is from the year 2009. It's question 8 on your question pack, and it is very similar, but there's some little differences to the one that we covered in the last video from 2007. However, the setup is the same. We need our 5 monthly columns and a total column. We're going to have a section for cash receipts and then a section for cash payments. You guys can take time to set up the video like that, or set up the your page like that, and then also to read the question in detail. I'm going to highlight a couple of important things here from the question. It says Sinead Salmon provides the following information in May 2008. First off, they give us debtors at the start of the month of June, which is our first month of April and May, 2 previous months, totaling to 115,000. April is 52, May is 63. Then they give us creditors for 1 month of 44, and they give you your opening bank balance of 34,000. Then they give you a list for all 5 relevant months, June to October, of sales, purchases, and expenses. And then the information lower down in the question gives you some guidance on how to do this. It says all expenses are paid as they are incurred, which should be straightforward. Rent paid is to be 1,100 per month. The first important one that I want to flag here, it says all sales are on credit and are paid for 2 months after the month of sale. Now, a 2-month delay means that whatever we sell in June, do you see that 59,000 from the question? You will collect 2 months later in August. And whatever you sell in July, you will collect 2 months later in September. That's 67,000. And whatever you sell in August, you collect 2 months later in October, 75,000. This explains to us why at the very top of the question, they give us 2 months of previous sales prior to June, because we needed those 2 months. For example, what do we collect in June? We collect the things which we sold in April, 2 months previous. In this case, 52,000. And what do we collect in July? We collect what we sold in May, 2 months previous, which is 63,000. That's how you do your credit sales if it is a 2-month delay. And you'd add up your totals as you can see on the screen. Then you do your purchases. Now, to read the sentence about purchases, the last of the 4 bullet points at the bottom of the question, it says all purchases except 18,000 for cash in August, similar to the last question we had, and are paid for 1 month after the month of purchase. So therefore, the monthly purchases, there's only a single month delay on them. So therefore, whatever you buy in June, you would pay for in July, 36,000. Whatever you buy in July, you will pay for in August, which is 51,000. Actually, in August, there is also a cash purchase of 18,000, which we also need to pay for in August. So therefore, that 51, we have to add on 18 of a cash purchase in that month. Actually, that turns into 69,000. Now that has a knock-on effect for September, because in September, you would or should be paying that 18,000 of those were in the month of August. We're not going to pay for them again in September. So therefore, it's 66 minus 18, which is 48,000, is the credit purchases that will be paid for in September. We're basically moving 18,000 from September back to the month we bought, which is in August. And then finally, October, we can go back to our normal pattern, which is 59,000 was bought in September and will be paid for in October, 59. We're just going to go back over here to our June purchases, which of course would be the creditors at the beginning of June. I'm looking at the second piece of information from the top of the question. Creditors expenditures at the start. Expenses. Well, it tells you that the expenses are payable as incurred, or paid as they are incurred, which is easy because that's just numbers from the question: 12,000 in June, 17,000 in July, 14,000, 16,000 in September, 15,000 in October. And then the rent, well, it says in the second bullet point that rent is 1,100 every month. So therefore we can replicate this across. That's 1,100 and we bring that right across here. And that's going to be 1,100 each month and a total of 5,500. That's all of the cash receipts and the cash payments done for this easy little question. So therefore we can go down to the net cash. Now, how do we get net cash again? It is your total income or total receipts minus your in the next month it is a positive net cash of 89 and it is a minus 25,100 significant September minus 100 in October and minus 19,500 in the month of, or sorry, in the total column. You get that. You could also on your calculator combine these five numbers horizontally. Either way, you'll get minus 19,500. Like before, we have our opening cash figure. They give it to you at the top of the question here. They tell you that you start and in here in the total column, and then you're just working up and down like we've done before. So therefore, opening cash plus net cash is going to give you closing cash, and the closing cash in this case is 28,900. Whatever you finish June with is the same number that you begin an 800, in that 37,800 up here. Now this time you have plus 37,800, and you're adding on minus 25,100. So therefore that is 12,700. And that 12,700 up here. And then you're going to add that on to the 1900 to get 14,600 in 600. And now 14,600 plus minus 100 is actually 14,500. And of course, over here in the total column, minus 19,500 plus 34,000 is also 14,500. And where are two closing cashes for the last month, October, and for the total, where they match, well, we know that we've done our budgeting correctly. That's the second ordinary level question. The next one we're going to look at is a higher level question, but we'll probably do that in sectional videos.